Our tale is from the 1500s, at a time when the Spaniards were running their rape and pillage show all over the world. And, by this point they were conquering in the Americas, they were conquering in the Philippines, they were conquering all over the place and just running the same show. Conquest, subjugation of the native population, in the Americas in particular brutal fashion, also because of the role that diseases played, where literally the arrival of the Spaniard means the wipeout of 90% of the indigenous population of the Americas. So it's one of the most horrific events in human history. So, a lot of these stories are really ugly and disturbing. But the ones we are gonna play with today, not quite like that. Actually, very different type of tale. Is about the very first interracial couple in the mainland of the Americas. Not in the Caribbean, where the Spaniards had already destroyed everything there was to destroy. In the mainland of the Americas, by the second decade of the 1500s, the Spaniards hadn't gotten near yet. They were still busy doing their thing in the Caribbean. But one Spanish ship gets off course and shipwrecks on the coast of southern Mexico. 15 guys survive the shipwreck. They are promptly captured by local Mayan population. And the Mayan being Maya, they decide, what do we do with these new guys? I think a good idea is to sacrifice them to their gods. So quickly they'll proceed to rip some Spanish hearts out, not metaphorically, strictly literally speaking. Spanish hearts being ripped out of their chest, offered to the gods. I'm sure that's quite an impact on the surviving Spaniards. Bottom line is, this happened in 1511. By 1519, 8 years later, when the bulk of the Spaniards will begin the invasion of Mexico, Cortés and all of that stuff from the history book begin to happen. Two of these guys still survive. One, the hero of our story, is named Gonzalo Guerrero. The other guy, forget his first name, last name is Aguilar, and they couldn't be any more different from each other. They are now residing among two different Mayan groups. Cortés and these guys show up at one of these villages and find Aguilar. And Aguilar just cannot believe it. He's so happy. Tears start streaming down his face. You find me, you save me. God is watching over me. Yes, I get to go to Europe again. Yes, life is good. So, logical step is that Aguilar then tell Cortés, there's another one of us in a few villages. I haven't seen him in a few years, but he's in a few villages down. I know he's still alive. Let's go get him. Gonzalo Guerrero. Let's run up and save him too. They show up, and when Aguilar arrives, telling him, Brother Guerrero, we are here to save you. Guerrero looks at him and is like, yeah, I don't think so. And I'll give you guys the direct quote because it's too cool. Guerrero addresses Aguilar and he tells him, Brother Aguilar, I am married and I have 3 children, and they look on me as a captain in time of war. My face is tattooed, my ears are pierced. What would the Spaniards say if they saw me like this? So go, and God's blessing be with you, for you have seen how handsome these children of mine are. And with that, in polite fashion, he's essentially saying, thanks but no thanks. Take a look at me. I'm tattooed from head to toe, I'm married to this hot Mayan woman, I have 3 beautiful kids. I think I like it here, I'm good. And by the way, talk about, can you imagine these guys growing up, the first interracial couple, like Guerrero growing up in Spain. I'm sure he wasn't in his wildest dreams that he would find love between the thighs of some tattooed Maya woman across the world, and same goes for her.
That they hadn't even conceived of
no,
yet.
Of course. So, now this story is not quite cool enough yet. So we add one extra layer. After Cortés and Aguilar and the Spaniards decide, fuck this guy, I guess he's gone native, whatever, we'll just let him be, we'll just do our thing. 20-some years go by, is the late 1530s, and by now the Spaniards have conquered pretty much everything there is to conquer, so much of Mexico has been conquered. Now they are invading Honduras. During a battle in Honduras, after this bloody, brutal battle, they take a look at all the bodies left on the battlefield, and they find this one Spanish guy covered in tattoos who had been a war captain for some allies of this Honduran village, probably from the Maya lowlands. So the story was that more likely than not, unless there were multiple tattooed Spaniards running around the jungle, this was Gonzalo Guerrero, who for the last 20 years have been waging guerrilla warfare on the Maya side, fighting against the Spaniards, and eventually finds his death some 20 years down the road in this battle. that's as cool as it gets.
That's the real
this
hero.
Yeah, Guerrero is like the original badass from the Americas, the father of the very first interracial kids in Mexico, and for that matter anywhere in the mainland of the Americas.